Welcome to the podcast about venture capital, where investors and founders alike can learn how VCs make decisions and reach conviction. Your host is Nick Moran, and this is The Full Ratchet.
Welcome back for another edition of Investor Stories. On this special segment, the experts describe the most important lesson that they've learned and how that has changed the way they invest. This is the special segment called Lessons Learned. On today's special segment, we have Emily Paxhia of Poseidon. Emily, can you tell us a story highlighting a critical lesson that has changed the way you invest?
Critical lesson actually ties back to that company we were just talking about, where I think that in business, you have to rely on your instincts and intuition. And if something feels like it's not working, you have to speak up about it. And the earlier you do, the better, because in business, but especially in early stages, things, when they start to go wrong, it's not an incremental negative output, it's a exponential potential issue that quickly just develops. And so I remember I was in a board meeting for that, and there was a very aggressive board member who kind of shut me down. And I, being a newer board member, and I was younger. I mean, I was like 6 years ago now, or 5 years ago. I just didn't have the experience to stand up for what I knew was incorrect. And I think potentially if I had spoken up in that environment, I'm not falling on my sword for this, but it was a lesson I'll never forget. I remember it like it was yesterday, and I'll never not speak up if something's bothering me about a business or about something going on in the governance of a business, because it's those critical and pivotal moments that you look back on and you think that was the thing, that was the butterfly effect. After that was that, management kind of went out of control in that. And then that incident happened, and then the business failed. So I look at many pieces that contribute to it, but I will never not speak up if I think something is incorrect in a business again. It was a difficult and a meaningful lesson for me.
Yeah, the impact of every decision scales, whether good or bad, at the early stages.
Exactly.
On today's special segment, we have the legend Tony Wilkins of Standing Oaks. Tony, can you tell us a story highlighting a critical lesson that has changed the way you invest?
Yes. The first investment that I made, the one I was telling you about, the tropical fruit beverage, when the company went belly up that was packaging our product. This is a guy who worked so closely with our founder. He unfortunately passed away, and his partner, who was a physician down in Florida, not an operating partner, he'd been putting a few dollars in to keep the thing going. We asked their attorney if my partner and I could go down and meet with the other partner and work out some kind of deal to buy the firm from them or keep it running. The attorney stiff-armed us, told us no. We begged him to set up a meeting for us to talk. We'll talk at any time. We fly to Florida. No, he's not interested. So as part of the sifting through the ashes of that disaster when it occurred, it dawned on me, and this was reinforced when I heard a woman give this quote that someone gave to her. And this is the quote. This one's golden. This one might be platinum. Never take a no from somebody who doesn't have the power to tell you yes. So that attorney did not have the power to tell us yes, but his client did. Now, this was in the days before LinkedIn and Zoom and all that other stuff. But if we had put our shoulders to it, we would have found out who that guy was. We would have flown down to Miami. We would have told him that we're two young investors trying to make some stuff happen. And we would have at least gotten a no from somebody who had the power to tell us no, as opposed to a middleman. So from that experience, if you are not the decision maker, all I want from you is the name of the person who can tell me yes. And I encourage founders to go straight to the top as far as they can get and beyond where they think they can get to find out who's going to let them live or die, basically. We just don't have time to waste with middlemen.
Well, and Tony, this is the world of creative solutions. There almost is no, right? And if you go to a gatekeeper, it's binary. But if you go to a deal maker, a business builder, it's, well, what would yes look like?
Yes, right? Exactly right. What would have to be true to make this happen? And it may be something crazy, but it may be something as simple as put my name on the front door. You never know. But man, if you don't ask the person, the guy, you're putting a lot of stuff at risk. And that was one of my very early and very biggest lessons. And I will go to my grave not letting a middleman tell me no.
On today's special segment, we have Russ Heddleston of Docksend. Russ, can you tell us a story highlighting a critical lesson that has changed the way you approach leadership?
I would say that one of the things that's always been important to me is to, kind of measure twice, cut once is the way I say it. The other one is just like kind of think about it enough to be correct. And so one of the stories I'll tell, like our new hires or people on my teams is like, I used to swim from Alcatraz. I lived in San Francisco, and you jump off the boat and you have to sight on land, and it's kind of hard with waves. And I had people who'd swim across me one direction and then they swim back across me the other direction. And we'd finish at about the same time. And I was like, that person swam twice as far as I did. And we ended up at the beach at about the same time. So, from a leadership perspective, I always try to be thoughtful and calm and figure out like mission and vision, for example. What is in scope? What is out of scope? And define what is out of scope for people so they don't spend time on that. But I think organizationally, especially with larger organizations, it can be really easy to do that zigzagging and to like not have all your effort be pushing in the same direction. So that's one of the things I've learned over time is just the importance of organizational alignment, of clarity, of like just being concise in how you describe to everybody, what are we doing and why and where are we going? And that also allows delegation, and it allows pushing decision-making closer to the edges, which helps people feel empowered. And it has all these like positive benefits that end up like helping you scale more later. So I'd say that's one of the things. I never used to really appreciate the importance of like mission and vision, and how when you empower your organization with that, it just helps other people go make smart decisions and just run faster.
That will conclude this installment of Investor Stories. If you're enjoying the program and would like to see it continue, take a moment and leave a 5-star review in iTunes. Okay, that will wrap things up for today. Until next time, over-prepare, choose carefully, and invest confidently. Thanks for joining me.